When we speak in English, we stress some words much more than others. One way to demonstrate this idea in the classroom is with songs or poems. In my activity, students will listen for stressed words in a poem and then practice saying the poem using those correct rhythms. This listening activity is designed to increase students' awareness of sentence stress in speech. The first thing to do is to select a poem. Look for a poem that has modern vocabulary that's mostly known to your students, so you don't spend the whole time explaining new words. Also, pick something that makes an emotional connection. Make it funny, sad, controversial, or inspiring. I selected a short poem with a funny subject, Shel Silverstein's Messy Room. Most importantly, there needs to be a rhythm in the poem. It's a good idea to mark the stresses so you can be sure to read it consistently. You could prepare a recording of the reading, or you could even ask a friend with a great voice to record it for you. But I'm just going to read it for my students. I also prepared student handouts without the stresses, so students can mark them as they listen. So, you know the way in English some words are really long and others are super short? And we don't keep an even rhythm at all. So one way to hear the rhythm of English is in poems. What I'd like to do now is show you a poem. I'm going to read it, and I want you to mark the stresses, the words that are stronger in the poem.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'll just do a couple of lines, and then we'll look at it together as a practice.
Perfect.
And we'll go back and do the rest. Whoever's room this is should be ashamed. His underwear is hanging on the lamp. Do it again. Whoever's room this is should be ashamed. His underwear is hanging on the lamp. What do you have marked, Andres? Any words?
You pronounce room at the first time very strong, but the second one you pronounce ashamed.
Okay, so room and ashamed.
Yeah.
And maybe is.
Should too.
Whoever's room this is should be ashamed.
Okay.
His underwear is hanging on the lamp. Where are the beats?
Hanging.
Hanging
And underwear.
and
Lamp.
that's it. Okay.
Lamp.
So I think you got it.
Yes.
I'm going to go from there. His underwear is hanging on the lamp. His raincoat is there in the overstuffed chair, and the chair is becoming quite mucky and damp. His workbook is wedged in the window. His sweater's been thrown on the floor. His scarf and one ski are beneath the TV, and his pants have been carelessly hung on the door. His books are all jammed in the closet. His vest has been left in the hall. A lizard named Ed is asleep in his bed, and his smelly old sock has been stuck to the wall. Whoever's room this is should be ashamed. Donald, Robert, Willie, huh? You say it's mine? Oh dear, I knew it looked familiar. What do you think?
There's a lot.
There's a lot. It's long. It's long. Yeah. Carlos, why don't you do that, his raincoat line? What have you got there?
I think that the stress is in raincoat and overstuffed.
Okay, raincoat, overstuff. Any more?
I agree.
And chair. His raincoat is there on the overstuffed chair. I think maybe 4. Okay, let's say 4 in the next one too. Pedro, what did you have there?
The chair coming mucky.
Damp.
And down.
Down.
Right.
Down.
So the chair is becoming quite mucky and damp. Andres, how about the next one? I only hear 3.
You heard 3. I think I have 2.
Okay, what have you got?
I have wedge. It's wedge and window.
Right, so.
Slowly, workbook is the other one.
Exactly, that's it.
Workbook.
So his workbook is wedged in the window. Now that you've found all the stresses in this poem, I want you to practice just the way they're marked on your paper, saying it and really push those stresses. His underwear is hanging on the lamp.
You do it.
Okay?
Mhm.
Work with a partner and take a look at those marks and give it a try.
Where's
Books are all
Where is
jammed
room?
in the closet.
the show this
His
man
best
shine?
has been
Air
His ring
asleep.
is there
His bed.
in our stuff.
and
Share
his smell
stuff.
or socks
And the
has
share
been
is coming
to the
with
wall.
Maki and then.
I heard Elena doing a really good job with this. Elena, would you read a little bit of the poem?
His scar and one sky are beneath the TV, and his pants had been carelessly hung on the door. His books are all jammed in the closet.
My students enjoyed reading this poem, but what if you have shy students in your class? Probably the most important way we can encourage students to participate is to model the behaviors we'd like them to show. I read the silly poem first, and even though I'm no actor, I tried to make the reading look like a fun thing to do. Second, encourage a positive atmosphere in your classroom by giving lots of positive feedback and opportunities for students to support each other. Most importantly, never force anyone to participate and never embarrass your students.